So we are going to discuss today the impact of social media on our teenagers. So this discussion is in line with the objectives of the NFU Europe Pro Forum, where we encourage our kids to share ideas and to help them to build self-confidence. So I want to use the opportunity to thank all the children who accepted to be part of this program, because I know it was a short period of time, but I'm happy that you all embraced it and jumped in. So congratulations. So in this discussion today, we are hoping to hear from you is maybe that you should tell us the social media platforms that you use, and you outline to us the advantages and disadvantages. You x-ray the characteristics of social media bullies, and also outline and identify what to do when you identify such bullies, and any other thing that you think will be any other idea that you think is worth sharing. So I'm sure that we are all excited to meet the participants. So I would like to call on the participants to introduce themselves. Let me start by calling on Lislot. Lislot, can you just introduce yourself to us? Lislot?
Yeah. Hello, Auntie. My name is Lislot Lane Wisdom, and I'm going to talk about social medias, the advantages and disadvantages, and discussing it with everyone.
Okay, I'll move over to Shay Solalimi.
Hi everyone, my name is Shay Solalimi. I'm 14 years old and I come from Belgium. I'm here today to talk to you guys about social media. It's a very important topic in our time. And I want to thank you, Auntie, for giving me the opportunity to be here with you guys today.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to move over to Kaylin.
Hello, my name is Kellen. I would thank Auntie also that she's giving me the opportunity to talk about social media. And yes, I'm 12 years old and I come from Germany. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Kaylin. And Noreen, where are you, Noreen?
Oh, hi, my name is Noreen and I'm participating from London. I'm 13 years old and I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to join this discussion today and talk about the advantages and disadvantages about social media.
Keanu?
Hello, I'm Keanu Watem. I just turned 14 and I want to thank Auntie for giving me the opportunity to talk about social media.
Okay, let's kick off this topic. So my first question, can you tell us what social media platforms you use and why you use them? Let's begin with Lislot.
Okay. So the social media platforms that I use are Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and why I use the platforms is mainly just to communicate with my friends, maybe family. Also, why I have Instagram is very entertaining, and you also learn a lot from Instagram. There's always new things popping up. There's always news and things you learn about the world. And also personally like posting pictures and just communicating with friends and just having fun on it.
Keanu, can you just...
The social media platforms I use is Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube. YouTube, I just do to watch fun videos, learn new football skills. Snapchat and Instagram. For Instagram, I just post pictures and talk to my friends. Snapchat is just talking to friends.
Okay, Nori?
I use Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, House Party, and WhatsApp, and it's just mainly to communicate with my friends and post stuff.
Okay. Kaylin?
I use from social media Snapchat, TikTok, and WhatsApp. So TikTok, I just do fun videos with my friends most times. Then Snapchat, I communicate with my friends. And WhatsApp, I just communicate with my family and friends.
So, what are the advantages of using the social media, of using all these apps that you use? Let me begin with Noreen.
You miss Shay, Lola. You miss one person. Sorry,
So, Sola.
Sola. You miss Shay.
Oh, Sola, sorry. Can you tell us what social media platforms you use and why you use them?
I use Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. I use Instagram and Snapchat to talk with my friends and watch videos. And I use YouTube to just watch videos.
Okay. And before I move to the next question, is that no, let me start. So what are the advantages of using the social media? Maybe we talk about what I wanted after. The advantages of using social media. Nori?
The advantages for me is that you can like reach bigger audiences and get like paid by sponsors, and to grow and become verified. You can also get noticed by a couple of celebrities. You can interact with your friends and family and people you don't know, but that's not safe, but still. And you can introduce like your business or different things to your friends, so you can grow like your job you're doing, or, to a higher standard.
Okay. Kaylin?
What is the advantage of social media is that you can show people and spread news. You can spread news about coronavirus and other important things what's happening right now. And there are positive also things that I think are that they're spreading news. There are communities also, there are really good communities that help people. And that's all.
Okay, let's move to Shay Solalime.
With social media, you can reach out to each other. Social media brings us all together. It's easily accessible. You can get help from social media. It's easy to get education from there, and it's easy to get information and be updated with what's happening in the world right now.
Okay. Keanu?
The positive things about social media is it helps teach social skills. So if you're a shy person and you like text your friends, it helps you like in real life carry on the conversation, because like, yeah, that's all.
Okay. Lislot?
For me, social media, the advantages, of course, you learn about everything. You have connectivity with friends. And also, if sometimes people have difficulty showing their real self in person, so they can show their real self more comfortably on social media and grow from there. Also, there's people that literally have they earn money from social media, like the youngest billionaire made was self-made. Was a self-made billionaire, and she grew from social media and earned her money. And that celebrity is called Kylie Jenner, and her net worth is 900 million, and this is from social media. She grew from there. So yeah, that's an advantage from social media.
Okay. So just as we have advantages I'm sure that there are definitely disadvantages of using the social media. So, Kaylin, what is can you tell us a disadvantage of using social media?
There are bad people at social media trying to figure out, like there are bad people can write you and like tell you creepy things or say that they're like they can catfish you, say that they're a different person wants to meet you and then they can kidnap you. There's also cyberbullying that's on social media, like bullying a person because they're something like maybe fat or too beautiful or ugly. And that's the disadvantage of social media, I think.
Okay, Keanu?
Online versus reality. Like, not everything online is real, so people start getting jealous of other people and then think that they're less, because not everything online is actually real. It's just, it could be fake. So that's really bad because it can mess up your mental health.
Thank you. Lislop?
Adding to cyberbullying, it can literally just ruin your whole, it can just spoil you. It can break you apart. And like another thing that has been going around is called the Blue Whale Challenge. It is a challenge that strangers start talking to you and ask you to do a task. Then they send you a link, and if you click on it, they have your IP address and find out all your information. And they ask you to do tasks. And if you don't complete them, they threaten you to share your information to people, dangerous people, and they say tell you that you can't talk about it. And this is really bad for younger kids because they think, oh, I can't tell my parents, and then they have to deal with it, and it can end up in very bad ways. Also, you also have like me, I had the experience. It wasn't any of that, but what I experienced from social media was this thing that's now going around that I'm sure you guys know is Black Lives Matter. And there was a time where it really overwhelmed me because I just saw it everywhere, and I told my mom I'm gonna take a break from social media because it's very overwhelming to just see all these bad things happening. And I'm 16 years old, and if I couldn't handled that very well and I just had to put my social media away, then I don't imagine how younger kids could deal with this.
Thank you very much, Lislop. Solalimi?
Social media can have negative impact on your health. People get lazy because of the excessive use of social media. Social media causes deaths. For example, people look videos on YouTube and then they want to try to reproduce it. For example, dangerous stunts or crazy stuff, and then they die because of it. Social media separate us from our families. For example, when you watch a movie together with your family, most of the kids are on their phones on Instagram talking with their friends in place of watching the movie together with their parents.
That's really true. Noreen?
The disadvantage of social media is that if you make one mistake, it can haunt you for life. If you write a wrong comment under something, a big story, there are going to be people that you call trolls that is going to like haunt your account. And I've heard stories about it. It happened to one girl, and she sadly died because of that. And I just want to say that, you know, if you're not careful, it can really haunt you for life. Yeah, that's the disadvantages of social media for me.
Wow. So we all know that in as much as there are advantages, there are also disadvantages. But what do you understand? What do you understand by social media bullying? Any of you could answer. How can you identify a social media bully? Or what is it? Or can you give an example of it?
It's basically called cyberbullying, and it only happens online. And cyberbullying is basically someone who is very negative towards someone else. It could be for a reason, but it also could be completely for no reason or because they're jealous of them. And this brings the other person's self-esteem down. And sometimes it's difficult to talk about it to your parents or anything. And not everyone can afford a psychiatrist or anything. And it's just really bad for your health, and it's just not good when you get cyberbullied. And bullies usually do it out of jealousy, or there's not really a reason to cyber.
Kaylin?
Cyberbullying is a bad habit. It's bullying a person not personally on the internet, and the person needs to struggle with it. Most people can get anxiety of it or some other issues. Most people would also kill themselves because of it, because they can't live with that. People the whole time telling them what to do or not to do or how to act. And that's the baddest thing I know from social media that happens there. Most people die because of it.
Keanu?
Cyberbullying is actually the use of electronic communication to bully a person. So they're using an iPad, phone, anything electronic just to get at you and text you or comment on your pictures, like saying you're so ugly, no one likes you, and it leads to really bad things. There's actually been lots of people that kill themselves just because of social media.
Noreen?
I think cyberbullies are people that don't want to see you happy or smiling. They will write mean stuff like "wish you weren't born" under your comments, and share a photo of you around the internet and write a mean comment, and it can really pressure your self-esteem and put in a dark.
Okay. And when you identify that somebody, if you identify a cyberbully, what do you need to do? Yes? Kaylin?
I know that I would go to my mother or my parents and to tell them about the cyberbullying, maybe take some space away from social media, because it would be too much pressure in me, maybe, because it's like the people are telling me bad stuff about myself. I would just take some time away and deal with my own stuff, and yeah, talk to my mom.
Solalemi?
First of all, I will tell someone, an adult, a teacher, or your parents. Then I would report the person to the social media site and to my parents. Then block the person if you want, and then I won't reply back to him, and I'll always stay positive.
Thank you. Lislot?
Yeah, if I got cyberbullied, I would obviously speak up, but what cyberbullies want is a reaction. So maybe you speak up and tell them to stop, and if they don't, you just completely block them out. You ignore them and you tell your parents. That's such an important thing, because people forget that telling your parents can literally change everything and stop it. So definitely tell your parents. If it's someone from school cyberbullying you, let the school know. Just complete that would change everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Noreen?
I'll report the comment they made or the account, then block them. I'll tell my parents. If it's somebody from school, I'll inform my teachers. And if it gets worse, like them threatening my life or know my location, then I'll call the police or child help services. That will help with that stuff.
Oh, Okay. I hope you all are listening. And after this, I would like to receive comments from all the participants watching. So to close this, I would like to have a take-home message from each and every one of you. So it's not I'm not here to tell you about social media or to tell you about what to do, because I see that you've already x-rayed almost everything. But like teenagers, what is a take-home message for the other children that are watching and are being cyberbullied? Or what message are you giving them to take home? I will start with Piano.
The message I'll give to the younger people: don't get social media until you're ready, until you're old enough. Because I think if you're too young and you get bullied, it really gets to you. That's really what I have to say to the younger people.
Lislot?
I would say definitely speak up, talk to people, and yes, like Yano said, get social media when you're ready. And when you feel at any moment that social media isn't good for you, then put it away. Just delete it, and then when you think you're ready again, get it.
So Lalimi?
You need to be careful with what you're doing on social media. Don't watch the bad stuff, only the good stuff. Yeah, that's what I have to tell.
Kaylin?
I would tell them as a tip, do it when you're ready and ask your parents every month or a week to check it. So if something that your parents every time know what is happening through your social media and everything, let them check it, or ask them to have also an account and check your pictures and all those stuff. And just stay away from the bad stuff like catfishing people or doing those catfishes and all those stuff.
Noreen?
I would give advice that ask your parents first, because they know what goes on social media, and there's a more bigger world to it than you might already know. So ask for your parents' permission before going on social media, and do not wanting to see something that you probably won't like to see.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sure this has been a very educative program. But before I conclude, let me listen to those in the house. The floor is open. If you have any comments, any questions, any reactions, then now is the time. Just raise your hand. Dr. Vero, please.
Thank you to our panelists and Lady T for those thought-provoking and inciting questions to our panelists. I just want to kind of summarize and say that I'm so impressed at the level of information that they have provided to us today, and to know that they are so much aware of social media in terms of the advantages and the disadvantages. And what I could take out from the discussion is that yeah, you can monetize if you're working, if you do something on social media, you can monetize, and you can learn something. YouTube is not only for fun and all of that. You can even learn a new skill from just using social media, whether you're using WhatsApp or YouTube or any of those, Facebook, whatever. And secondly, the fact that they know that that there are bullies, and that that they can identify those bullies and look for ways to stay away from that. And one thing I would like to say is that someone who is bullying you is just not better than you, and you shouldn't take it to heart. It's the person's problem. And if if you have this in your mind, someone will not break you. So again, I am happy that you all mentioned that you go to your parents to discuss whatever is going on, whether in terms of bullying, especially bullying, because we've seen kids lost their lives because they have been bullied. They've not spoken up, and then they kind of just stayed with it and did something nasty as killing themselves. So I'm so impressed at the level of knowledge you all know about social media, the advantages and the disadvantages. And moving forward, for those who are listening, please take the take-home messages from your peers and work on it. And social media is good. But again, someone also mentioned that you should be careful what you put out there because it can haunt you, you know. So thank you very much, our panelists. Thank you, Lady T.
Thank you, Dr. Vero. Wo Berlin, the floor is yours.
Just like my sister and my brother said, social media is not good for kids like me.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Lady T. Thank you, children, for this wonderful presentation. I think I've really learned a lot from our kids on this program on social media. I myself am not a social media fan, but I believe I've learned a lot from the way they've responded, advantages and disadvantages of social media. But there is something that, and what has actually impressed me much is the fact that kids believe that when they encounter problems on social media, go back to your parents. Let your parents know. But sometimes now, what worries me also is the fact that you kids, you best know how to operate some of these gadgets even more than your parents. Then sometimes some kids, they get involved into other programs on social media that we, the parents, were not even involved in. And now, when you how do you feel when you take a problem to your parents, that your parents themselves, they don't even know how to get into it, how to diagnose the problem? Because you guys are talking of Snapchats, and I'm hearing from you, I don't know those things. And now, if you bring a problem to me on Snapchat, how do I address it?
Is Lord, do you want to answer that?
I don't know if you can help me.
No. Let the children speak first. Is Lord, do you want to answer that?
I don't know. We'll just have to teach
You have to give us the phone and then we'll help
We'll
you.
just teach you how to use Snapchat.
Maybe if you don't know how to use that particular application, you can ask for help from another elder.
I'm just asking, should in case the kids they encounter a problem on a site they are using on social media, and then before bringing it to the parents, and the parents, they have basically no idea. How do we address such a situation?
Noreen is laughing. Maybe she has.
Noreen, do you have something to say?
Let your parents have the social media apps too, so you know at least they know they're around. Because my mum too, she has almost all of the social media apps that I do have on my phone. So at least she has to navigate herself around. So when I need help, she can help me.
Wow.
Okay.
Ban, do you want to throw more light on that, or no more comments?
Yes, I think what I can add there is really quite interesting listening to them saying, and the issue for parents handling social media platforms that kids are using that they are not aware of. I think the first thing is for parents and adults, the Android generation has come to stay, right? They will always have these different platforms that they use to connect. But the amazing thing is when they know the disadvantages and the advantages, and when they speak open with their parents about what they have and what they are doing, that's already a very positive step. If parents don't know how to use this, there is only the most easy thing is I think just like a parent today, you have to know at least minimum how to go on a website, right? So if there is a if you hear something like Snapchat, and if a child has a problem in that, you can go to a website and check about what's the website for Snapchat, and you go to there's always a report abuse contact that you can have. So if your child is having problems, there will always be a report, let's call it a support line, report abuse, and that you can use that to inform those people that are involved in. And if you as a parent, if this is challenging from you, that's why we're a community. Then you can only have to reach out to maybe one of the people in the group to say, you have this, and you don't know what to do. And at this point, I'll say, if someone has that difficulty and needs help, I'm available, and I want to support in that direction. That's what I'll say.
Thank you, Prezi. When I look at the participants, I see other kids in the house. I can see Jaden. I know Jaden doesn't use social media. He's still young.
Should say something.
Yeah.
What should I say?
Yeah.
Any other comments? Oh, Berlin, do you want to say something?
No, don't put me.
Okay, maybe your hand, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, Lady T.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I have to think.
I hope I'm,
Sit here now.
okay. I hope I'm not talking too much. Okay, thank you again. Yeah. I'm also happy with the way our kids have responded. And one thing I've gathered from them also is the fact that social media is a meeting platform. They meet with friends, they chat with friends. I just want to ask our kids again, how do they also admire our own, the meeting platforms of their own parents? Like, we meet at Bonyang, we meet at Bonkecheri, we meet at Njangi houses. We have CWA women, we have CWA. How do you admire the meeting platforms of your own parents? Do you admire it? Kids, are you there? I just want to get your response.
Yes, let's start with Kiano. Do you want to respond to that? Share Solalimi.
Yes.
How do you use, I mean, what can you say about Bonkecheri as a platform?
They're talking about
Because social media is also a platform, right? Where you meet people. Bonkecheri is a platform. So what is the difference to you?
On our own social media, we don't see much of our culture, and we learn more about our culture in Bonkecheri, and I like that.
Thank you. Shegad, are you hearing?
I'm hearing.
Noreen, do you want to say something?
The difference is that you get to meet people face to face, and you're having fun, so you might spend less time on the phone. But with social media, you're not actually seeing people face to face, and you're just texting or posting or stuff. So at least you can have a more better connection with somebody when you're meeting up than with social media.
Okay, Kaylin? Do you want to say something?
Yeah, on mute. Someone should unmute Kaylin. Okay.
Right. Bonyang is also a platform. So how can you compare the two to the other? Yeah.
I can compare it to that I see the people face to face and I'm having fun with them. And I love seeing them again because it's like a reunition, like a reunite. And on social media, you just see you check it almost every day and you don't really see the person face to face.
No. Where is Liz and Keanu? Any comments from you before we listen to the chief juju dancer?
Who is it?
You.
Professional. You're a professional now. I thought you were the boss of all the juju dancers.
Of course, I'm
So, okay, what do you have to tell us about this discussion on social media, the impact on youth and teenagers?
well.
So, what's your comment? Your comments in general?
Well, I think it has nowadays it has a bigger impact than it used to have on us because people use social media on a daily basis, and it affects us not just mentally but also, well, it can help us, it can damage us, but at all, what I see in general of social media is that it's a platform to connect with people and to connect with your interests as how you like it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Whose hand is up? Okay, so we are going to, anyone willing to make a comment before I close this section of the debate?
Yeah, I have a question for Sola. I think he said something which I want to hear. He said that social media can be used for education, and it was interesting that I think it was Lenny, she was talking about making money, you know, so it's quite interesting that they see that it can be a platform that they can use to make money. I mean, that's what the world is about. But let me start with Sola. Can you give an example of something that you have learned from social media that is helping you?
It helped me for football. I look at tricks and dribbles and such things, and I do use them on the pitch.
Okay, so with sports, it's helping you to improve on your football skills.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe it would be nice also to hear from. That's what I had. Maybe hear from Noreen and maybe Kaylin as well, if they have learned something that is helping them. VP, that's what I thought. Maybe we should hear from them. Yeah.
It helps me when I watch YouTube. Most times I watch learning videos that help me and guide me. I watch, if I don't understand something in class, I most times watch a YouTube video from a channel that shows helps me with my math problems in school, so I understand it, and that's what helps me with social media.
Interesting, Kaylin. That's good to hear. What about you, Noreen? Anything you've learned from social media that is helping you in your life?
I think what's helping me with social media is, you know, if like something wrong, I can look around and see what can help me change it. Like if I'm struggling with something in math, I can watch YouTube, or I can look at a social media site that has at least something that can help me.
Great. And
I know Keanu are back.
Yeah, I know, Keanu, you said it helps you on football as well. What about you, Bislot? Have you seen something in social media that is helping you in your life?
I learn a lot about things that go on around the world, just like recently the bombing that was in Lebanon. And then after I found out it was like a nuclear bomb, and then I started doing more research about that because I wasn't really sure exactly what it was. And it was just so big. I'd never seen something so big. So I wanted to research everything, and it's actually really sad. A lot of lives were lost, and it was just that taught me things as well. and also for school as well. When I used to live in the UK, watching YouTube videos was very helpful.
Nice to see. That's what I had, Lady T. Nice to see they are all using social media also for studies and learning. I think I asked everyone. Great.
I see Dr. Vero's hand up. Dr. Vero.
Yes, Lady T. A question to the panelists.
Yeah.
You all mentioned that you use social media for this or for that, for learning or checking on something. So have any of you thought of really also building content that others can use on social media?
Okay, let's start with Noreen.
I think like sometimes I hope, I don't really do it myself, but I hope like other like little content accounts on social media grow by giving them like shout outs and stuff. So like kind of like promoting their content.
But are you doing anything to, okay, let me not.
No.
Okay. Not yet.
No.
But you hope to do it in the future.
Yeah.
Future can be tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lislot?
I haven't started anything yet, but I do want to look into spreading the word to people that like don't know much about social media as well, or like new people that come on social media. I'd like to spread about it, or I like to go on TikTok and I sometimes make videos about body positivity and being confident in yourself. And like me personally, when I was younger, I didn't like my Afro hair, but now I really love it and I really embrace it. And I tell other people to embrace their insecurities as well. And it's really nice to see.
Okay. Sula? Okeano, do you have something to say?
Yes. Sometimes on my story, I post football tricks.
Okay. Solalimi?
Yes.
Did you hear the question?
I know. No, I didn't.
I think he answered that already.
Okay.
About football tricks, yeah.
Yes.
No, Dr. Vero's question is about, do you have any intention of, you go to social media to get information, to read, to learn tricks? Are you also thinking that someday you're going to build your own platform where people will come to learn from it?
I don't know.
Like, don't you think if you say social media, people use it to make money, don't you think it's the high time you start looking for ways to make money from it too?
Yes. But
so you better start thinking now, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm sure that by next year convention we'll have this same conversation to check how far you've gone. Kaylin.
I don't think I'm going to do it right now, like trying to, because of my age right now. But I also have TikTok, and I spread like awarenesses of, I spreaded a video about BLM, about Black Lives Matters, because I learned it from social media, then got some pictures of it from Google, and then I also posted it as awareness to my fans or people who are watching it, also my friends, that BML needs to continue and get bigger, and yeah, that's all.
Okay, so thank you very much for having educated us, and we are hoping that more children will get involved in such discussions in the coming years. So from after listening to you all, what I could pick out was that there are many social media platforms, and people use them for different reasons, and that people, we are aware that there are advantages and disadvantages, and And one of the most important ones we should pay attention is on cyberbullying and trolling. Trolling, make sure that whenever you encounter such things, let your parents know. I'm not going to go in details on all the points that you raised, but there's one take-home message that I have for you all and for everybody who is watching, that your future is in your hands. So be careful whatever you put on social media. I think one person already mentioned it. Be very, very careful what you put on social media, because it can build you up so as it can break you. And when your reputation is destroyed, it's difficult to really build it up. So be very careful, because you don't know what you want to be tomorrow. You may want to be the Prime Minister of Belgium, Keanu. But if we go back and look at social media and we saw that Keanu was fighting or bullying somebody or writing to insult other people maybe 40 years ago, nobody is going to make you the Prime Minister. So whatever you put today has an impact in your life. So be very, very careful as kids. Be very, very careful as adults, whatever you put out there. Think about it and think about the importance and how much lives you can impact or you can destroy with what you put out there. So whenever you go to write something on social media, the first thing that should come into your mind is, am I trying to build somebody or am I trying to break down somebody with this message? If you would build somebody, then go ahead and put it out. If you know it's gonna break somebody, please do not, because it's gonna come chasing you in the future. And we don't want to start doing damage control when you've already gone out there to do something that it's very, very bad. So I'm begging on you all to report any dangerous cases you come across and be very, very careful what you put out there. So thank you very much for having participated in this discussion. We hope that next year we will have many, many, many other participants to handle another topic to make it easy for us to understand. Thank you, and have a great convention.
Fine. That's great, Lady T, and thank you for coordinating this. And it's wonderful to have listened to the package that you had ready for us with the kids. And it's so interesting to see the kids also engaging and not really having difficulties. I mean, it's just really, really marvelous. I just want to congratulate all of you and say you are the future. The future of FO is safe if you continue to engage in this manner, if you continue to participate in our events. I'm sure that next year when we will come in and having a much bigger panel discussion, I'm sure Lady T in the Pro Forum now has to start thinking how she will handle a panel for kids and definitely a panel for adults, because we have to keep encouraging this. So thank you very much, the kids, and all of you have been exceptional, and I'm sure so before this program ends today, we'll see what to do. I know that we were planning to have a break now, but Lady T, I was just trying to reassure because
can I make one comment before you just continue? We realize that there is a big gap in food that we need to be able to take care of the let me call it the adults or the young adults. So there's this gap that is drifting away, and we have to try to look for something to engage these kids, especially those that are getting from 18. Once you get to 16, Lord, thank you for accepting to be here. Because I know many people will say, oh no, I don't want to be part of it, but thank you very much. That's a good example for other kids to copy. So I know that we will have to look for ways to engage this young, let me call it young adults, to see how to integrate them, to make sure they are part of the full culture. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you for having me.
So great. We are happy to have had you, all of you. So, which was still a good question that we had coming in from Gad, asking about kids, how do they assess being in our platform? And it's interesting that they find that as an interesting place. It's much more real. So we can only encourage our chapters to continue to create programs for our kids so that we continue to have that continuous integration, how will I say, so that it's not just the adults always running activities. We continue to give space for these kids because they are showing that they are promising.
So my dear people, we have all listened to the kids. I don't know if we still have comments or reactions on or suggestions on how we can engage the adults, not really adults, how do I call it? Yeah, adults in our group. How do we involve the young children, those are above around 18 years? How do we get them to be part of us? So if you have any ideas or suggestions, please do not hesitate to bring it up.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess one way of looking at it is, what do you think they need, these young adults, right? So they are at a certain stage in their life where I believe many of them would have unique challenges. It could be career related, right? So if you can focus on what their needs are, then it's likely to have them interested, right? So maybe one way is to speak to a few of them and find out what would be helpful to them. I remember when I was at that age, going into university, there were a lot of, I guess, anxieties that I had about obviously completing my studies successfully, and then at a certain point, getting a job, right? And many of us are already in the workplace and we could help, right? So I think the key is connecting with something that really interests them, right? And then creating a platform where that conversation can take place.
Thank you very much. So we need to find out what interests them and try to create a platform for them.
Yeah.
Any other suggestions, please?
Me? I think I don't have a real, like a specific suggestion, but I think we should, like this, why I was excited to get involved is because social media is a very relatable thing to teenagers. So I think like if we can get more topics that relate to teenagers, that like more teenagers would get involved.
Okay, that's what interests them.
Yeah.
So we will try to create, we would first and foremost, we will try to get a team. I mean, we try to get the people who will bring them together so we can have this conversation. Because we need to have the conversation to know what they are interested in so that we can now, try to meet up with their needs. So we are still on the discussion on how to integrate our youths. Any suggestion? Dr. Shigan has given a very interesting suggestion. So any other suggestion on how we can get the youths active in Europe?
Yes. Auntie?
Yes.
I'm very interested in searching up stuff. So can we maybe do something about that?
You're interested in what?
Science and all.
Okay. So we will, after this, we will talk on the project team, and we will create groups for the teenagers and for children and for the youth to see how we can move forward. Okay. So there we are going to discuss in details what you want to do and adapt it to suit the objectives or the aims and objectives of FU. Okay. Thank you very much. So, any other suggestion, comments? Any inspiring talks for the kids?
You were once.
You were once, and now you are adults.
Okay, that's 2018. That's when I joined FU, and what really got my interest was the cultural aspect. The fact that that was the first time I joined the dance and I knew about it. So it's just the cultural aspect that did captivate me and did take all my interest in food. Yeah, that's it. It's just cultural.
And I remember last convention in Podinoni, you did a presentation, right?
Yeah.
Can you just give us a brief highlight of your presentation and the reason why you got motivated to do a presentation like that?
Yeah, my presentation was about e-learning, learning, online learning. And I personally, online learning that did really help me a lot because I learned things like HTML. I think Lanier that's presented something in 2018 on HTML on a free on a website, which was free. And it's like I was being mentored by our president. So it was something like a give back onto to also mentor other kids to dive into online learning because I learned quite a lot about computing and with websites that actually you can take this stuff for free. You just need to get internet connection and you're gone. And
I think she's off. I think you did a very, very, very powerful presentation when we were in Podinoni about online e-learning. And I'm hoping that when we create this youth team, she should be some kind of role model for all the other kids, because I can imagine how many certifications she's received now because of her exposure to this. So I'm hoping that her line, she can come out and actually clarify. And if there is, we can also ask her to share the presentation so that other people can read and get information from what she did, she presented last year. It's very, very, very good for us, for all of us. Any comments and discussions regarding our professional life? Because I just assume this time is like for the pro forum. We are delving into the real thing after this. Any comments? Oh.
Edith, can I?
Yes, Dr. Vero.
Yeah. So I really liked the discussions this afternoon, and one thing that I would say to the kids and to everyone is that I mean, taking from your youth presentation last year in Pordenone, that you can actually do a lot online. Of course, it needs some discipline and all of that. I remember at some point in my life how I was kind of regretting why I didn't do this, why I didn't do that, and because growing up, one was just so focused on I have to study and pass and have good grades and all of that. But nowadays, there is so much that one can learn, not even linked to, you know, what you are studying in school, just something that you like or you could be passionate about, that you can learn. And the way you did it, you know, the way she presented, how she covered some courses online from one thing to the other was really great. And I'm encouraging the kids to also explore and use social media to, you know, learn other things and see how they can build themselves. There is no knowledge that is lost. I bet you can just explore, go online, do some things, not only schoolwork, but also look at some things that you can learn. And YouTube, you Google, you type something, whatever interest you have, you will find it. So use that of the fact that there is so much online now, and build yourself up. Nothing learned is lost. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vero.
Kikum kitala, tarmashin reisi tarla, tarmashi buba tarla, tarmashi kaba.